because we had to move. So in the next 10 minutes, I will cover these three in racer-like format. And I'm happy to stay longer to talk if you guys want, or give you guys some assignments, hopefully. So we have this whole page of tools for you guys, and I'll spend just a minute. Talked about the traffic light. Next one is this appreciations and triumphs. Have you ever done that? So it's a cool start to a meeting, and PCA does it at their offices. I've worked for a number of organizations that do it as well, stealing it from PCA, so feel free to steal it. But essentially what it is we start off the meeting and say, does anyone have anything that they'd like to share? And it can be something from, I just found a really cheap gas, to I really want to thank Coach T for setting up this meeting, to, we had a great service the other day, and it was really cool to have so many people attend. And so this is an opportunity for everyone to share, but essentially what it's doing is it's filling tanks. And you can appreciate someone, you can share something great that happened in your life, but it's starting off a meeting so that when everyone gets ready to go, your tanks are immediately more full. And now, as we know, when tanks are more full, you can take in more information. Celebrating small wins. At small nonprofits, we know this. Small wins are hard to come by. Wins at all are hard to come by. So whenever you have that win, celebrate it, whatever it is. Debate and commit. When you guys start going through these things, debate it. Bring in people to have that conversation with you. That's good. Go head to head. Say, do we really care about, winning can't be everything, but they care about it. Do we want to debate that? If it's a yellow light issue, maybe we're debating it. But then once we commit as an organization, let's get everyone on board. Let's not try and, cut other people down, which you guys don't seem like that group, but making sure, same thing with our coaches. If we're doing something with our coaches, debate it, hear it out, but then let's all get on board and move this forward. Team building, you guys probably know more about this than I do, but all these different ways that we can build teams, that we can do fun things together, whether it's with our actual teams or us as a leadership group or us as a coaches group. And then Maven recruitment. So those are getting those people on board, whether it's from the church, whether it's from your team, whether it's parents, aunts, grandmas, whoever, people listen to. That's what a Maven is. It's that person who, when they talk in the stands, everyone else will kind of lean in a little bit more. So think about when you got your first cell phone, right? The person that you asked on the cell phone plan, because no one could figure out a cell phone. They're like, which plan do I get? Do I get Verizon? Do I get, whoever, AT&T? Well, I don't get service here, I get service here. You kind of listen and like, all right, whatever Molly's doing or whatever, Bird's doing, I'm just going to do it because she said it worked for her and I'm not going to do all that research. So same thing with our clubs and with our bands and with our basketball programs or football. When they talk, everyone kind of listens a little bit more because you need to get those people on your side too. Exactly. People with influence, people that others will listen to. And maybe they don't have, it doesn't have to be a monetary influence, it doesn't have to be a really loud influence, but whoever it is that people listen to, we need to get them on the train early. When you guys figure out what this culture is that you want, when you figure out what are the things we want to change, that we want to continue to do, get them in early because they're going to be your messengers. So with that, we're looking at structural pillars. We have a whole list of things for you guys to do with this, and I'm going to zip through them because it's written down in your book. You need to appoint a team who's going to be in charge of creating this culture, talking about it, but also shaping it. A mission statement, which you guys have. As I said, it's awesome. And you'll see these little boxes here. That's the appendix in your book. So we actually, I think the appendix in this is actually bigger than the actual book. So we have a lot of resources for you there with a lot of resources online. But making sure that your mission fits what you want to have happen, and you guys do have that down. Having this double goal coach program, which you have, right? And especially now with AAU and what AAU is doing, but making sure that it's mandated. This one I love. You guys mentioned one of the things we want to make sure our coaches are sort of a little bit more higher quality with respect to technique and tactic and things like that. Do you give them a job description?
Yeah.
You do? What does it say?
Well, literally writing down,
yep.
But no, not yet.
Yeah. So that's one thing you can do. If you look on this page, there's a sample one. But to actually say, here's your job description. And sure, it has to do, part of it has to do with times, right? You're going to be here from this time to that time. But the other part has to do with our culture. You're going to help us uphold this culture. This is what we value. And then on the flip side, as we talk about this, how are you going to evaluate them? Conducting evaluations and telling them not did you win, did you lose, but more about are you following these things that we have, that that we are creating, we're fostering athletes who are ethical. We're fostering athletes who are athletic and social and all these things that are valuable to you guys. And you can evaluate them midway through the season. You can have parents evaluate them. You can have kids evaluate them. And the cool thing about that is that if there's a squeaky wheel, someone who always is complaining, it shows that it's just one person, and it's actually a great coach. It's just one person that's kind of squeaky wheel. So I definitely encourage you to look at that evaluation component. So the job description and then the evaluation. The evaluation without the description is not fair. And then recognize them. That concept of celebrating wins, recognize them. Do you guys have awards for your coaches?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What kind of awards do you have?
They gave trophies.
For coaches if they do what?
Oh, no, you're speaking of him. It's different.
Well, what we do with our coaches is we give them a plaque with a team picture in there and a little something that we have engraved on the plaque, and then we present it to the coach of the team.
And every coach gets one.
Every coach gets one.
Cool. One thing that you may want to consider is this concept of a perpetual plaque, where whoever is the coach that, however you want to figure it out, who is best embodying our culture or our mission, gets their name on this plaque, and it hangs up here, or it hangs in the gym, or wherever is appropriate. And it's the new person's name each season, and that's pretty cool. You strive to be on that plaque. Similarly, PCA has a National Youth Sports Award, and I would definitely, if you're finding coaches that are really getting into this way of coaching, that you nominate them. And now they can be acknowledged as a national award. And when you start to recognize coaches, that celebrating small wins, it can become pretty powerful, because as we know, if that was happening to us, and, Bridget got an award, I'd be like, that's pretty cool, Bridget. Tell me, how'd you get that? Because I might want that.
That's something they can take to work.
Exactly. So looking at that, having a parent program is something maybe down the line that you guys might want to consider. I have some pieces up here for you to look at as you look at bringing the parents some of these changes that you want to have happen, looking at how you're incorporating parents, letting them know we have this thing, a parent pledge or game day tips. You can, print up a card for them and hand it out at the game. You can have them sign a pledge. There's a whole bunch of things that are in your book that, again, given our time, I won't go into, but I have, obviously 8 bags worth of stuff that I could tell you about it. And then developing those culture keepers, people that are going to help you keep the culture. So,
that's what I like right there too.
Pardon?
I like that too. People that are going to help us keep the culture.
Mm-hmm. So you need to find those people, those mavens, find those people that are going to help you do that. And then addressing turnover, right? So are you guys going to be doing this for the next 30 years? You 4.
I hope to be alive for the next 30
Okay.
years.
I'm with him on that. But
All right. So that's
I say we
awesome.
all.
But maybe you're going to grow, or maybe you're going to need to take a year off. How are we figuring out who's going to come in, who's going to help us on this leadership team? What if something happens to us? How are we going to make sure that all this work that you guys have put into this organization can continue to go? Because this concept that although we may not be there, our mission endures, because that's what we're really trying to do. And it endures beyond just our athletes, but also in the work that we're doing in the community. So making sure that you guys are looking at that, and then making honoring the game a tradition. Coach Mish talked about the fact that she liked that. Find a way to create a tradition out of it. I know that Stanford Kale does it, or did it for some of their games, where they handed out buttons, and we honor the game here in half red, half blue, and that's a pretty heated rivalry. So if it can happen if it can happen at a collegiate level, it can definitely happen here. And then this coach issue.